These are the strips with this cement board siding going over it. These strips create a space between the Tyvek or the house wrap and the siding, and that's designed for different reasons. If water ever does get through the siding, and very often it does get through the siding, it has a clear open drainage plane, so it gets through, it hits the house wrap, and then it goes down and drains out of the bottom bug screen and stuff. It's also vented at the top of the same screen so that air can circulate behind the siding. Now that's a huge break from traditional building. Air never circulates behind siding because the siding is attached flatly to the house. If the siding can breathe, the paint lasts a lot longer. What knocks paint off a lot is the moisture and the heat and the pressure behind the siding actually goes through the siding and pushes the paint off. This paint job should last significantly longer than a typical paint job, and the house will just breathe and perform better because of this airspace. There's this stuff here called duct sealer, and it's this gooey stuff, right? And it's used for sealing ducts in attics and things. And here's a typical electrical box. You can see the holes in there, right? So you stick this in a wall, you put an outlet over it, and you have all these leaks in here. So air goes through the outlet, through the plate, into the wall cavity, and possibly escape through all those other holes I sealed, and then you have more heat loss. So what I do is I take this gooey stuff, and like this hole in here, as you can see that? The light coming through? Mm-hmm. You just take this gooey stuff, stick it on, and it seals the hole. Holes in the back, take the gooey stuff and stick it on, and it seals. So in a few minutes, you could seal up a lot of small little holes. And the total combination of this effort amounts to sealing up a large hole. In the attic here, in the sheetrock, that's about a total, almost as big around as a golf ball if you add up everything. Ordinarily, you would leave that, no big deal, and you put this light fixture back on, no big deal. The light fixture has 3 holes in it, pretty good sized holes. There's a hole around this. The light fixture won't fit tight, so it's going to leak. So pretty much it would allow all the heat up in this upper area to escape through those holes. That's a pretty big leak for heat, and then you add up the total leakage, and it's all of a sudden you got a hole that big just going out straight through the attic. So we seal in the attic, we seal that, we seal it down here. I even go so far as to seal the light fixture as it goes up, just to make sure the air is just not escaping. Kind of over the top radical, but it won't leak,
On the bottom. I cut it in, and I hit the top of the baseboard again.
Typically, when you do a job like this, you just tear up the old carpets and throw them out, particularly if they were dirty and stained as these were. We took a chance on trying to clean the old carpets. They came out really, really nice. It was one less carpet for the landfill. Carpets are very toxic. We actually couldn't put in a toxic carpet. Because the house is so airtight, it has a breathing problem. If you don't open doors and windows, the air doesn't exchange, or at such a low rate. You need to introduce something that exchanges the air if the doors and windows are not open or not used. So thus enter it's an ERV called Energy Recovery Ventilator. It has a 4-inch intake that pulls in stale air from the house. It also has heat in it, and while at the same time it's pulling in outside air, which is usually cooler. And there's a heat exchange that happens. So it's exhausting stale air, bringing in fresh air, and stealing the heat from the exiting air. This is the third time Kevin Back came to test the house for air leakage. This was the big test to see just how well we did. The original leakage was 1320 or 1360, which is equivalent to just basically leaving a large window open all the time. We got it down to like a half of a playing card.
We have liftoff.
We have liftoff.
And in terms of finding leaks, we were going around with the smoke pencil and the video camera and not finding many. Most of the electrical boxes were pretty tight.
Laser pointer we're looking at. So this right here is a little bit of a weak spot in the insulation, but very, very difficult to do because of where it's at. And you can see this is probably where every one of the rafters meet the plate.
Yeah.
Looks like here.
Got those.
Oh, you can see you can actually see the, let me change the scale on this a little bit here. You can see the nails in the drywall. But the overall of this wall is quite good. The ACH natural, air change per hour natural on this house is 0.06.
Terry Kirby is the hero in this story.
I took all the wires and I redid them so they were meeting Terry's very, very strict requirements.
Is this yours?
Pause under the front. Ready? Yeah.
Oh yeah, holy shit.
Keep it even. I need to push more. Wait, you're going too much on this side. Let me catch up. Can you kind of hold your end back? We got it, we're catching up. Okay. Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah, it's perfect here. This is engineered by Bill. Bill the engineer.
We're just doing it the way the Egyptians did it.
Where did this come from? It's still very green.
Local. Yeah, this fell down in the storm.
This fell down in this recent windstorm?
No, this was last winter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you need to quit working it.
You may have leftover, Bill. I'll pick it all up.
Okay.
Evolve.